how about the job that you guys did just hanging in there today, as they threatened to kind of blow it open?
SMU is a very good team. They've played some tough games on the road. They have gotten better since their last game. I think that's a credit to their kids. And, I watched Eastern Washington tape a whole bunch of times. I watched Texas State with Mike coming in here. And in these last 3 or 4 days, they've improved tremendously on the defensive end of the floor. When you watched them on tape, you thought you might be able to get some things in their athleticism and their length. And they have Coach Brown, who's a Hall of Famer over there. And I told my kids, we'll be able to get some things done against them. But Coach Brown is one of the best in the business, and he's going to have them ready for what we do. And I have to give those kids a lot of credit. They made it harder on our kids than every other team we've played so far this year.
Deon, how do you feel like you guys kind of grew up over these last 2 games today, and then obviously almost taking out Maryland on Friday?
Yeah, we definitely grew up a lot from last year. Like times where last year, like how we would get down and we wouldn't be able to bring it back. This year, like we're really growing up a lot. Like today, we got down and then we started fighting back. So we definitely are growing up.
King, same thing to you. I mean, did you learn something about your group over these last 3 days that maybe you didn't know previously?
Well, I think our kids are tough. We've shown that right from the beginning. Going to West Virginia, and I always schedule hard, and I don't make excuses. Tonight was a tough one on us. Those guys, man, they really just, it was like, wow. On the tape, I didn't see them doing all those types of things, and that, they bother you when you set a pick and they stay with your guy, because usually you can throw back, but the length bothered us to be able to throw it back where we needed to get it to, and then that throws our timing off on our plays, and then we're not as good. So I hadn't seen my team not be able to run our stuff this year the way tonight. We could not get to our stuff the way we've been able to. Credit to our kids to continue to fight, okay? I have a great group of young men. We're continuing to get better. I would rather coach this team than any other team. And we can take lumps, and we've been taking some, not as bad as they've been, but we're going to start giving some lumps to some teams here in the very close future.
Did SMU do anything differently personnel-wise than what you expected?
No, I mean, you watch, and any time, if you at halftime, you're talking about a game that Nick had 18, everybody else made 1 shot. So we guarded them pretty well, and their best player got off on us. All right, let's not paint the terrible picture. Nick had 18 and that fast. Everybody else had made 1 shot. Okay, so we were playing pretty well. Their star kid, who's their best guy, got busy on us in the first half. We did better on him in the second half. Some of their other guys played well, but I've watched Keith Frazier. He shoots about 48–50% from 2, about 50, almost 50 from 3, and he didn't get off today. So our kids did some really good things in this game. I'm proud of them. I'm thankful to Coach Brown for letting me have the opportunity to coach against him. I'm just proud of my kids.
King, for you personally, coaching against Coach Brown, that's a Carolina guy, a guy that you respect. Just what was that like for him?
He's one of the best. Last night I got nervous at about 1 o'clock. I had been watching the tapes. I'm like, man, we're going to have a chance in this game. We're going to have a chance. And then I said, King, what are you thinking about? You're coaching against Coach Brown. And I got super nervous. I called my assistant. I said, bring the tapes up here right now. He brought the tapes up. I watched 2 more games until about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then this morning I woke up and I felt good. Okay, and it didn't get emotional. I didn't get to see Coach this morning. I wish I did. I saw him before the game. He said, King, I don't like doing this. I said, Coach, we like doing it because you gave us a big check. And I'm thankful that I get the opportunity to do this against you. Okay, and everybody understands we get to come and play some teams, and that's what happens. You get a check. And Coach Brown was very, very generous. Thank you to SMU and everybody for fulfilling one of my dreams, to coach against Larry Brown.
You said you knew, obviously, Nick Moore was one of their best players, obviously, and he got loose in the first half. Did he show you anything in the first half above and beyond what you expected?
I didn't think he could keep it going that long, man. You get 8 for 10, it's like, and then you're 2 for 4 from the 3. It's like, man, Nick, And see, I've come out and I've met Nick and I've met Marcus and I've sat in the office and talked ball with Coach Brown. I come out all the time to visit with him because he's trying to help me get better. After the game, he said he loved me and he's going to talk to me after so I can get better. Nick is good. I knew he was good at Illinois State because I know Jank. I used to coach at Illinois State, so I followed the Redbirds. He's good. Then I got to meet him, and he's a great young kid, and he's from Indiana, so he knows the game also. And when he gets it going like that, not a lot of guys are going to beat him, you know, because then he can control the tempo. He's tough. He scores. And tonight, there are other guys didn't have the best games. I knew the big guys were sick. Okay, they're just, with their length and athleticism, it just was like, man, it's just hard to deal with. And, you know, when they get Marcus back and everybody, and Coach Brown is one of the best ones to ever do this. Okay, I'm in my 4th year. I feel like we got a lob dunk on there out of bounds. Okay, that's something we're taking home with us. And people don't get that on Coach Brown. Okay, so we did some things. We kept fighting, so that made them have to keep playing. That's going to help them later, okay? They thought it was going to be over. We kept fighting. They thought it was not going to go that way. We kept fighting. All of a sudden, it's 11, 10, 12. Now they got to keep playing, you know, and they're still growing up too. You know, they got a lot of guys back, but they still got a lot of growing to do, and they got the best guy leading.
Deon, coming off these last 2 games, how important is it to kind of take this momentum and just roll it into next week, knowing that you have 2 MAC games coming up?
Well, it's very important. I mean, playing these last 2 games, you know, they're big schools. It's definitely giving us a lot of momentum coming into league play, playing against Marist next Thursday. So, yeah.
Is there a feeling now after these 2 that you guys can really play with anyone?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, after showing what we did these last 2 games, I mean, fighting and showing how tough we can be when we really click, when we're really clicking and playing hard. Yeah.
And you know, SMU made us play differently today. And I don't like that. West Virginia didn't make us play differently. Maryland didn't make us play differently. Towson didn't. Nobody. SMU made us play different tonight. And you don't like that feeling as a coach, but our kids kept fighting. And, you know, it's tough on the road getting it done, and especially when they got a veteran point guard that can control the tempo of the game. You know, I thought we might get him tired. He got our kids tired. Okay, we picked him up full court. We're not even doing that this year. But he's so important to their whole deal. And I want them to be good. Don't get me wrong. I wanted to win so badly today, but I want them to be good. I wanted Coach Brown in the tournament last year. Okay? I am a true Larry Brown fan. I'm lucky that I went to Carolina and get to have this relationship with him. And he's going to help me get better from playing in this game. So this was a cool night, even though it ended up the way it ended up.